When I talk to people about contemporary art, whether in person or online, here's how the conversation often goes. Ugh, I hate how collectors use the shock value of contemporary art to jack up prices in a market that only makes the rich richer. Yeah! I hate how there isn't equal access to making it in the art world. And I feel like the simplicity of contemporary art just points out the fact that people are rewarded for their connections over their abilities. Yeah! So yeah, that's why I write it all off as fake. Wait, what? Hi, welcome back to Contemporary Art for Haters, where I'm going to teach you how to hate better. In this series, I've seen a lot of people bring up the concepts of money and class and opportunity. I want to make it clear that I think that all of those concerns are very real and very valid. But I think to assign all of those problems to one art movement and then write off the whole movement has a few problems. One is that I think if you're not careful, it kind of perpetuates this idea that art is only art if it's like being paid for with a lot of money or if it's in a museum. When I see people assign all of these problems to contemporary art, it makes me think that they probably haven't seen contemporary art made by somebody who isn't famous and isn't doing it for a ton of money. Because I think when we talk about famous works of contemporary art, the money and the fame is really distracting. But if you take that out of the equation, experiencing contemporary art firsthand is really stinking cool. My other problem is that I think for most of us, hating art because you think that a different type of art deserves the platform that art has doesn't actually help the art that you do care about. Because I can harp all day long about how a bed doesn't deserve to be in the Tate, but I'm not the curator of the Tate. If I talk all day about how this urinal shouldn't be famous, at the end of the day, the only thing I've talked about is the urinal I think shouldn't be famous. You might be like, wow, this is rich coming from you, girl with an entire series about contemporary art, and that is fair, but I want to be clear about something. I am not making this series to make people like contemporary art more. Because spoiler alert, it's not even my favorite kind of art. I'm making this series because if I can make a bunch of informed haters, people who know how to appreciate even art that they do not like, then I've also made a bunch of very informed lovers who can like the art they think is very worthy much louder. So what I want from all you haters is actually more love, because I think the best way to help artists that are making this stuff that you really think is worth it is to find them and learn about them and talk about them. I want you going to local art shows. I want you going to your student art galleries at your community colleges. I want you following artists on Instagram when you see their artwork in coffee shops. I want you buying artwork on Etsy. Listen, if you're somebody who's trying to make a career out of making your artwork, can you please comment a picture of your artwork so the people who like you can find you? Because I'm going to continue with the hater series, but I want to make a little room for the love first.